Hey guys, welcome to the Real Deal video blog. So it's a rainy day outside and it's got me thinking. I'm this tiny person in the middle of this rainstorm, and the power of the rain and the weather and nature is just so much bigger than me. I'm just this little dot in the middle of this big rainstorm, and it just touches so many different lives at the same time, and I'm just this very small part of it. And what that made me think is that this week I want to talk about finding a spiritual connection and spiritual practices. Spirituality is kind of a loaded word, and in my experience it tends to make people think maybe two different things when they hear it. The first thing that people think about is religion, and religion can be kind of a dirty word for some people because a lot of people have had bad experiences with religion. Maybe they grew up with a religion that they didn't really agree with. Maybe they never really believed in it, but they felt forced into it. But either way, for a lot of people, that's what they think of when they hear spirituality, and it just turns them off right away. And then the other thing that I experience people thinking about is what I call hippie spirituality. So you probably know what I'm talking about right away, but the healing crystals, the essential oils, being in touch with nature, astrology, and that's something that works really well for some people, but a lot of other people think, that it's a bit ridiculous and they're totally turned off by it. And I'm not trying to tell you what to think. Whatever way that you look at that, that's totally fine. This is a very personal issue that only you can decide. But when it comes to spirituality, I have good news and I have bad news. So the bad news first. If you want to be successful in recovery, you're probably gonna need spirituality. And a lot of people don't like to hear that, but it's true. But some form of spiritual practice is essential to pretty much all the recovery programs. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be like any of the things that I just talked about. Spirituality can take any form, and that form is specific to you. The basic central idea here is just finding something that's greater than yourself. And for some, that's very clear cut. They believe in the same God that they were raised believing in, and that's great. But for others, it looks a little bit different. They could look to the power of a group that they're a part of, or even something else. As long as you're not picking a codependent relationship as your higher power, you'll probably be all right. No matter what you go with. If you are willing to accept that you'll need more than yourself to get through recovery, then you're already most of the way there. The rest is kind of up to you. Some people swear by prayer and meditation. Some people think it's an absolutely essential part of their daily routine, and it's one of the big things that keeps them sober. Other people are able to achieve something similar through activities like exercise or hobbies. It can be pretty much anything. And this is an area where your sponsor or your mentor in recovery can give you much better guidance than I ever could. So at the end of the day, spirituality is important, but what I'm trying to say is that it looks different for everyone. Finding spirituality is a journey, and sometimes that journey itself can tell you a lot. Sometimes the journey is where you discover your spirituality. And I can tell you that journey of spirituality in recovery, it starts with a decision to put down the drugs and alcohol and to look forward with an open heart and mind. What I cannot tell you is where that journey will take you. That's just something you'll have to discover for yourself.